I love making these kind of videos because on the surface, it seems like that I'm complaining, that I'm bitching, and that I'm just so miserable. But in reality, it's more educational purposes because this hobby has completely revolutionized maybe a couple times now over the past 3, 4, 5 years, even. And it's something that drastically needs to be talked about because I feel like card shows 6 months ago, a year ago, completely different than they are now. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video is that this hobby has a problem with card shows. And it's not those that run the card shows. It's not the people who set up the card shows or set up as vendors at these card shows. However, it's more so the people that are walking the floor at these card shows. Now, listen, again, I'm not trying to complain or anything like that, but whoever is watching this that has set up as a vendor at a show, you all can relate to me when I say this. As vendors, we've all experienced this. Someone comes up to our table and they ask us this one question: are you buying? Now, as a vendor, you're more likely to be open to buying, selling, and trading. You spent the money, whether it's a cheap $40 table or maybe it's an expensive $300 table to set up as a vendor at this show. You, of course, want to make some deals, move some cards, but most importantly, you probably want to sell some cards. Hence why that's why you're a vendor at that show. And of course, you're open to all three facets: buying, selling, and trading. But what really is the problem is that these people, and it ranges across ages, not just like kids or just adults or anything like that. It's that everybody comes up to our tables with a case full of cards. Are you buying? And my immediate reaction is just like mentally, after being asked 50 times if I'm buying, if you're trying to sell these cards, if you're walking the shows to solely sell these cards, then why didn't you set up as the vendor? Why aren't you a vendor here trying to sell cards? Me, I'm here set up as a vendor to sell my cards, maybe to trade some stale inventory for some fresh inventory. And again, of course, I want to make deals. I want to buy, sell, and trade. And it's fun in the beginning. You got a lot of fresh show vibes going around and you're excited. Yeah, I'll take a look. Yeah, I'm buying. It's great. But again, when you hear it over and over and over and over again, and these people aren't even looking at your cards. They're not even looking at your cards to potentially buy them for themselves or to potentially trade for them. No, 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 no. They just come up to your table asking if you're buying. And I think this is where the problem is because people have previously purchased cards or even traded for the cards, and the value of those cards has diminished to the point where they just want to sell it and get out of it for whatever reason. Now, maybe they want to sell cards to fund another purchase, maybe a bigger purchase, move into a nicer card. That's all great. It doesn't matter what the person's doing with the money. My thing is why should I spend $300, $50, $150, whatever the cost of the table is, to set up as a vendor if I'm just gonna buy cars? Now, of course, on the local show scale and even the bigger show scale, I can, use the table as advertisement for Murph's Card Town. But when it's countless over and over and over again, it does get a little annoying if I'm going to be completely honest and transparent. I mean, I stepped back from setting up at a local card show just because I wanted to take some time off from setting up at shows to focus more on the new shop here, and I also wanted to be able to attend more shows walking around, and not having the commitment of setting up at shows would allow me and give me the freedom to do so. I went back to that local show as a customer, and I walked around for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And what was I doing? I was buying. Now, of course, my situation is a lot different than most people's, where I'm buying for inventory for a store, but not once. And I didn't bring any cards with me, but not once did I ask, "Are you buying?" Because I know what it's like on the other side of the table, that a lot of these other people who are asking us vendors, "Are you buying?" I don't think they know what it feels like to be as a vendor. Again, most vendors like to go to set up, to sell, to trade, maybe buy, and advertise, whatever it may be. But it's just so infuriating. And I know a lot of vendors can relate to this. When you hear it once or twice or a few times over the course of the day, it's fine. It's cool. Yeah, I'll look. Maybe you do end up buying. But when you hear it over and over and over again, it's just like, oh my goodness. Does anybody I literally asked my brother this. I was like, does anybody want to buy cards today? Does everybody just want to sell? Now, this is a conversation for another video, and I think this is more of hobby big picture, is what is going to be the future of this hobby where everyone's seemingly just wants to sell, 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 and sell? I I don't know. I tell people like, "Yeah, I'll look, but I'd prefer to trade." They're like, "Oh," and then they just walk away. I brought my dog Bogey today to the shop. So if you heard any little ticky tacky, that was him walking on the floor. Do you have anything to say about the topic at hand, Bogey? No? Thank you. I don't want to make this video too long, too stretched out, too drawn out. But for people that do attend shows, don't just go there just looking to sell. Yes, you can sell cards. I'm not saying you can't. It's a great opportunity for you to sell cards. But if you just are going to only sell, honestly, I'm at the point where it's just like stay home and just post them on eBay, honestly, at that point. But people don't want to put in the work to put them on eBay or Facebook or Instagram. They don't want to put in their work. They just want me to look at their cards and just buy them all and for me to give them cash. That's it. A lot of people, and again, this might be another video for another conversation, bigger picture. But people don't want to put in the work. And I've talked about this with Ricky several times on Hobby Talk. People don't want to put in the work to take the pictures, to make the listing, to post it, to wait, and then to ship it. I mean, people, it's a generational thing. It definitely is a generational thing. People don't want to put in the work to make the money. They just want it to be handed to them, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. So I'm not going to make this video any longer than it has to be. I want to know what your guys' thoughts. Am I just complaining? Am I making this a bigger deal than it is? Is it just part of the hobby? Is it just part of the hobby here in 2024? Let me know, guys, what you have to think down below in the comment section. I'd love to read and reply to any and all comments down there. Please make sure you press all the buttons. I would greatly appreciate checking out the channel membership program. That will do it for this video. I've queued up an excellent video. Bogey, point to it. I've queued up an excellent video right there for you guys that I do believe is going to be excellent for your hobby endeavors. Hopefully, I'll see you in that one.